something.
Well, not just that. I could
But
also.
in all honesty, there's no real way of knowing what it would be.
I could also see the Federation just
It's
putting.
left open-ended.
Yeah. I could also see the Federation just putting us as a.
It's left open as a development unit.
Yep. Yeah, kind of like what happened with the team that was developing Alex, or the team that was well, yeah, that was developing the Pixie or anything else. Well, that's that. Directory 8 has only one mission, irregular, the Battle of Odessa. We cannot do this mission multiplayer.
This will start the final mission.
It can only be played solo.
This is the final mission.
You get
Proceed.
Yep. You get no choice in mobile suit. You get no choice in anything.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh god, look at how wrecked this place is. I think this is back where we started. There's the
textures the textures are falling apart at the seams.
There's the other two gym. And we're back in our Gather Road gym. The only HUD we get is our, Hey, those don't belong here.
Yeah, something tells me that the data's still a little messy.
Yeah, because goofs never entered mass production. Outlaws really don't belong here. You are dead! These are some stubborn as shit atoms. Oh, our main camera, our poor main camera.
Still functional.
And with that, we've got time to overwrite our combat data. We're no longer a gym gather road. Stubborn piece of shit software. I love this. It's so good.
G ユニバーステレミッションすべてのガンダム
お姉さん、マックスウェルズ消滅の負荷でオーバーフローを起こせる。さくら、まさか。イエス、このまま転送するよ。小隊長、とどめよ。ミッションデータ修復開始。人格データ製造。さくら、さよなら、私のお姉ちゃん。きっとまた会えるわ。 G の空のどこかで。マスターハーネスもありがとう。どうか全てのガンダムに祝福がありますように。
With that, we finally returned back to the real world. With that, we get our ending credits. So I know I was saying I was going to do building the Gundam Alex as we shared our final thoughts, but look at the time, I'd say we just do them here. Yeah. So I have my opinions as a fan of the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise. As someone who has only watched Build Divers and some of Double Zeta, I would like to hear your thoughts first.
I mean, this game's been pretty fucking hype.
I've said it before, the moments they chose are fucking amazing.
I don't have as much understanding of it as you might, right? But a certain moment really struck me.
You were telling me,
and it was seeing the Axis Flash and afterwards reading about the whole thing, how it all went down. Like, yeah, sure, it wasn't the original animated version, right? But just watching it in the 3D scape, and it just struck me. Like, I actually started tearing up as I was typing that message to you about how fucking beautiful it is.
It is such a good moment. It's both sides coming together to try to stop it. All of human will powering the Psycho Frame causing that. I've said before my opinions on this. I think this is... The controls were amazing. Even the Switch version visually was very good. I love the moments they chose. The first moment with Ramba Rawl turning into the Barbatos is fucking amazing.
It's iconic, man.
The G Gundam stuff, while it comes in late, they choose some of the best moments from G Gundam towards the end.
They choose two of the best parts of G Gundam. Final battle with Master and
IBO. I've sung many a praise about IBO, and I've always personally said 00 is probably my personal favorite Gundam series right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the scenes they chose, I'm kind of sad they didn't choose anything from Season 1, but I can also get why. Yeah. Oh, hey, look, they changed the credits now. The DLC cast has been added.
Oh, that's good.
Actually, oh no, okay, DLC Additional Cast 4, which is the SD Gundam World.
Okay.
But, the stuff they chose, the controls are tight. The fact that they chose the Wings final scene, which is still... Gundam Wing is one that will always have a special place to me, as it is my very first Gundam series I ever watched.
Yeah.
So that final scene of Zero taking the shot on Libra. And then there's also the overall philosophy of Mobile Suit Gundam that always kind of struck with me. Which is the idea of peace not being able to be maintained through conflict, but through understanding. As that it has been seen, the antagonists, or the quote-unquote bad guys of Gundam, are always the people who are trying to force shit on people. An example will be Ribbon's Allmark. He's trying to force his beliefs, his ideology of him being a god onto the earth, where Celestial Being isn't that. Meanwhile, in the first season, it's the opposite. Celestial Being is literally holding the world at gunpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack choices, all phenomenal. They chose some of the best songs from each series. I'm not even just saying that because we got 2 Sawano songs now in this game. Though Vigilant and Unicorn are fucking amazing. I'm also just happy that we got some more G Gundam stuff, because we don't get to see G that much.
Yeah.
Same with the G self, actually. Like, we gotta see stuff we don't see much in the spin-offs, because Gundam has a bad habit right now. It's kind of the same thing I would say as Mega Man, where it's a lot of the stuff we've been seeing from Gundam, like in other external media,
has only been UC.
Has been UC, which I get why. UC has so much content to work with. Like Battle Operations.
It is the beginning. It is the starting point of Gundam. So building off of that is expected.
An example be Gundam Battle Operations, which has you take the place of soldiers in the various wars of the Federation versus Zeon. It makes sense why you'd only have UC mobile suits there. But there's a lot to Gundam. Something I've been appreciative about the SR games is the fact that you have the spin-offs.
And seeing how they interact with everyone else.
Like with SRV, we had Destiny, 00, and UC. In X, we had G Novi Conquista, F91, Crossbone, and UC. T coming up, we have UC, and we aren't saying goodbye to them yet. We're having our Gundam fighter come back, along with the other lovable idiot, who we've become very familiar with at 30. I will also actually, if I'm correct, the band who wrote the lyrics for Error, that the song that plays, not the song that plays while we're fighting as the Gather Road with dual pistols, but the one afterwards, that somber melody.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the same one who did the Bill Divers opening.
Ooh.
Sunrise has a habit of, when they hire a team to work on Gundam, they tend to keep them around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I remember correctly, the IBO team, members of the IBO team are working on Witcher Mercury.
Right.
It's one of those things you've already been tried and proven. Stick around for a while. Especially the series was well received, which IBO's first season is phenomenally received all around. It's just people have opinions on the second. I will say I do like how they handled the SD Gundams, like Musha and everything. Yeah, I get why they didn't get a whole level.
They're around for as long as they need to be.
Okay, I just saw. Oh wait! Nice. I'm sorry, I got to interrupt very quick. Pac-Man brand marketing manager? What the fuck? Bandnap. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, Ben Conan.
Okay, you say your thing. I'm sorry, I had to bring that up.
I don't remember.
Sorry, I saw Pac-Man. I had to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Haru might as well be Pac-Man.
True. Yeah, no. I've said this multiple times to people who I think you could kind of attest this when it comes to trying to get people into Gundam. Don't start with there's good entry points.
Yeah.
The main issue I hear a lot. Oh, go.
And I mean, it's especially hard if somebody's not into mecha to begin with.
Yeah. Which, I'll be honest, like, usually my selling point with it all depends on the person. Like, if you like the giant robots, I will sell them on the giant robots. The main one I sometimes try to sell is the characters. It's same thing with Getter. Like, the character writing of Ken Ishikawa is phenomenal.
Something that needs to be recognized by people outside of the genre, outside of the fan base, is it's not just about the giant robots punching each other. Like, right?
Usually when I talk about Gundam, I usually talk about
and this isn't me trying to like be all no. You have to enjoy it this way. It's just there's more to it than just
the Gundam
the giant robots
community
punching.
very much has the understanding, like, because that's the thing. The Gundam community is very, at least in my personal experience, and despite what some groups are trying to claim about the overall Gundam community, they're actually very understanding, especially with the philosophy of the show. Hell, there are kind of like how you have the for Star Wars, you have the Rebel Legions and the Imperial 501st cosplay groups.
Yeah,
We kind of had that with Gundam, like where you have some groups that are like, where Xeon, and another group's the Earth Federation.
Yeah, and it's for the fun of it.
It's for the fun and the aesthetics.
The people that take it too seriously are the people that need to be.
And even with Gundam, actually a lot of the people on the Xeon thing aren't like taking it seriously. They're more like in the ideology of Char or Ramba Ral,
Yeah.
where it's just like, more on like, independent space noids as opposed to the Zabi space noid superior space Nazi ideology.
Yeah. There are. I'd imagine that there are still some people that unfortunately believe that shit.
Actually, not really. Because even in Gundam, they don't portray it as right. Like,
Yes, and the Empire is not portrayed as
No,
right
I do.
either.
well, no.
And yet people still say that the Empire did nothing wrong.
But to the point with the Zabi family as opposed to the Empire, they never really show the Zabi family as being competent. Every moment with the Zabi family is them literally self-destructing. Like, Odessa was literally a failure because of the Zabi family. A member of the Zabi family being a petty motherfucker didn't give Ramba Ral the goofs, which fucked over his mission, got him killed, which took a key tactical leader outside of the Xeon forces and left the white base standing. There was the whole multiple issues with the prototype development that I've talked about. There was the constant infighting and Cassilia being stupid as fuck and bringing Char Aznavour in, knowing he's actively destroying their upper echelon. This is the thing. Xeon, like, most people who go like the Xeon forces for Gundam, at least in conversation, more to Xeon Daikun, Char's father, who had the original new type theory of, humanity being in space, we will evolve. Not that we will be superior at first, we will evolve into the next step of humanity.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you had the Zabis where it's like space aristocrats. Even people, when they talk about the Crossbone Vanguard, at least from what I've seen, they don't talk. Most people think about the Crossbone Vanguard, they don't think about the original one from F91. They think more about like Tobiah. Just because, that's become the more common one we all see after Super Robot Wars.
Yeah. Soft boy.
Exactly.
Oh, no, he's not soft. What am I saying?
He's awesome. I love him. But it's when it comes to a lot of it, it's more so just like, usually it's people who are just a fan of certain characters or line up with the ideology of characters instead of factions. Most because, again, Gundam, while it does faction writing, it's mostly character writing. So most people, it's like, I love, like, Ramba Ral meets Amuro. He knows Amuro is a Federation soldier. Meets him in the desert, buys him a meal, gives him a drink. And granted, he uses it to his own advantage, but he will not kill either of them outside of their. He will not kill Amuro outside of an MS, and he didn't kill Amuro's friend. Granted, he followed his friend back to find the white base, but still.
Yeah, it's
the
a matter of principles.
Even in the only time we will ever say a faction is truly right or wrong is Seed and Seed Destiny, because they're very black and white in Seed and Seed Destiny. It's every side that isn't Kira's is evil. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, like, some of the character writing is I kind of, this is something I'm kind of sad about this game. Like, we get to see some of the best character writing from, like, the top ace pilots of the franchises. So Hiro Yui, Setsuna.
But we're only getting ace pilots.
Like, at least with Celestial Being, we got all of the Gundam Meisters, so we got a feeling for how they all act and all their personalities. We don't get
and we do get, like, two of Amuro's friends as NPCs.
to be honest, between you and me,
But-
they don't really stand out as much, to the point I don't think they've showed up. One of them showed up in like a cameo in Unicorn. But meanwhile,
It's nice that they're there, but they're not really doing much.
the one who with IBO, the only ones we really needed to see much from were Orga, Mikazuki, and Akihiro. Don't know, there are other great members of Tekiden, but those are, the main ones.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Wing, suffers the most from this. Because, Zex and Hero are fucking phenomenal.
But there are a lot of other pilots besides them.
Duo, Katra, Wufei, Troa, and Lucrezia annoying. And especially because we don't have Duo. Duo provides a nice layer of humor to Wing. Like, his first plan was, after he rescues Hero from a military hospital, and Hero, because in his mind, my mission has failed, so there's only, instead of letting them interrogate me with truth serum, because he's fucking Hero Yui, he jumps out of a fucking building.
Yep.
Merlina shouts, he pulls his chute, he survives, he breaks his leg, but he gets back up because he's fucking Hero Yui. It cuts also, by the way, proving my theory about the first break, that the first break was putting us into SDs.
And I think this also is going back to what I was saying earlier.
That we're supposed to die.
Yeah, but because of our experience in G Universe,
We've improved.
we've become a better pilot than we were meant to be.
But so Hero breaks his leg. Duo's, he's being a good guy. He brings Hero to like where he's getting his Gundam service, fixed up because Hero literally tried to blow him up with missiles.
Yeah.
He's salvaged the wing. He turns over to tell Hero he pulled it out of the water. Hero's snapping is like pushing his dislocated leg back into place.
Yep.
Hero is built different. He's built
Some
stupid.
Some people are just built different, built stupider.
He's fucking wild character.
Yeah, as somebody who has not experienced as much Gundam as you or Tristan have, this has still been a very enjoyable game. This has been a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah,
and I don't get a lot of it, but I'm getting enough of it.
Yeah, I will say, at least the ones they chose with the I've been vocal. The only ones I'm not too familiar with was 0080 War in the Pocket, which is Gundam Alex, 0083, which is the GPO3. I'm off with that one. Just because I tried Stardust Memory. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't get past the character writing of Stardust Memory. It's so bad. For Gundam? Yeah, that's the one from Alex. It's depressing as hell. Yeah. Especially because it's
actually one of the better series.
Yeah, my father's in the room. He's the one who actually got me into Gundam Wing. Because
actually in the Gundam.
True. But yeah, the main thing is always the President 0080 is it ends on the day the treaty is signed.
I also think
Starblazer. I mentioned everything you got me into because we talked on end about Starblazers during the last Super Robot Wars. Yeah.
Transor Z.
Otherwise known as Mazinger.
No, Transor Z is not Mazinger.
Mazinger?
Mazinger is the real version.
Yeah. It just transfers the American.
American, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, there comes a point where localization overrides canon.
Which, the only one that wasn't too bad with that was Starblazers and Space Battleship Yamato. The only thing they really changed there was they changed the lyrics of the opening from Japanese to English, and they changed the names. Which, granted, they gave a hell of a name to the captain. He's called Captain Avatar.
What a fucking name.
It's a fucking name, and you know what? It's fucking great. But yeah, I'm not too familiar with those ones. A lot of my knowledge is on the spin-offs. I actually haven't sat down and watched a lot of UC. We've been going through Double Zeta. And God, we've got jokes about Double Zeta. Actually, when we stopped that, you had just met Puru.
Yep.
And you can see why I like Puru. She's such a fun character that it hurts. Then there was, I'm trying to think here. IBO, I think, did a pretty good job. Like, they really covered... Oh, go?
His name was Abraham Avatar. That was his full fucking name.
That's a fucking name!
In the English version.
That is a fucking name, and I can we disagree? That's a pretty good fucking name.
Susumu was called Derek Wildstar.
Yep. I mentioned that.
But he was called Jason Kodai in the English dub of the first Yamato movie.
Yeah, I had a habit of sometimes calling him Wildstar during SRV.
Yeah, and Mamoru was Alex Wildstar.
I had a habit of like accidentally slipping between the two.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm mostly also just happy that they included Turna Gundam in this.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, playing this again, I said this, I believe, during the demo stream when I was playing those 5 levels. Bandai, please give us more Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
It'd be nice.
It was fucking great. Especially because Dynasty Warriors Gundam's original stories where you had the pilots interacting with each other. Because in particular, one interaction kept happening. I believe it happens in both 2, 3, and it might happen in Reborn. Char and Master Asia meet. And it's always been Char, you know, during the counterattack. Same with Amuro.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because, Master Asia is usually, the way they picked him is usually like, you know, post G Master Asia if he survived.
Right. So so it's a Master Asia that's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, child?
It's not just that what's wrong with you, child. Reason he gets so mad at Char is
he sees himself.
He was in that position before his final fight with Domo and Kashi.
Yep.
Because
that's what the fuck is wrong with you, child?
Because I know there's like a big thing right now where a lot of people try to say Char had no point, Char's just a mass murdering psychopath, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Char's not a good guy or a bad guy.
He's someone who had his own ideals,
and he had been through a lot of shit and kind of lost hope in humanity.
Yeah.
Especially because he had someone he trusted who let the woman he loved die when she was with his child.
So basically, this is all Haman's fault.
Well, kind of. It's both Haman and Char's fault because Char couldn't realize. The reason why is he never talked with Haman at all about it because she was very blatantly obvious that she had feelings for Char, but Char never
reciprocated or acknowledged.
So those feelings festered and actually grew from love to hatred.
Right.
It's the porcupine. Judao is actually going to bring it up in SRT. It's the porcupine syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Porcupines need to huddle for warmth, but they can't get too close to each other.
Or they hurt each other.
Because Haman and Char are so fucking similar to each other in terms of personality. The only people who've ever really gotten close to Char are Camille, Amuro, and Lala. Lala was.
And we all know what happened with Lala.
She still tried to stop Amuro and Char from fighting at the final battle. Then there was. Oh god, I'm trying to remember here. There was. Camille was really the tipping point for Char, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah. Seeing that young man's entire future get taken from him, I'd imagine.
By one encounter, and it was all gone.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think here. Oh god. The other fun one is always, I'm trying to think here. I'll be honest, it's kind of it's like that I liked it SRX, where it's like, I brought you and Amuro here to instigate the flames of war. It's like, you thought you could control Char? Like, it's not even Amuro.
For one thing, you thought you could control Char, but for another thing, you thought that they would actually want to fight each other.
I still love, like, why is your whole reason why to reset the timeline? Char, we need to save the greatest headshot in anime history.
Yes.
That's so. You want to funny? You want to know the name of the woman he shot with the rocket launcher? That's Cecilia Zabi, the one who brought him back into Zeon. So you see what I mean by like why a lot of people who talk about Zeon don't talk about the zombies?
Yeah.
They're most people understand. The zombies are fucking idiots.
Is that Char?
Salute, sir.
Send your sister to meet you. Boom!
Like Rambo Raw, the reason Rambo Raw was put on Earth was because he actually was against the zombie family.
Hmm.
And it was like, look, you're too big of a name in the colony for us to kill you.
What? Yeah.
So we'll give you a demenial position on Earth. Because fuck you.
And then they got him killed through it.
Because fucking Makuve. Like, Makuve was actually... Like, to be honest, the whole reason Zeon lost the first war was the Zabi family.
Mm.
If they had better leaders, they really could have turned that shit around. To the point, I shit you not. Zeon had defectors within their own military to the point, they had a Earth Federation general named General Revel captured. The Federation was about to give up. They were actually about to just flat out surrender to Zeon because they were convinced that they would never be able to beat the mobile suit. General Revel was freed by, Federation sympathizers within Zeon, who just wanted the war to be fucking over. Revel gets back to Earth before the treaty gets signed through and basically tells the Federation Zeon's main military force is dead. It's a bunch of barely trained kids that have basically a shattered will to fight. That made the Earth Federation rethink it, and then also signed on to General Revel's insane plan called Project V, otherwise known as Project Victory, which developed a machine called the RX-78-2.
Good old green.
So, yeah, Zeon fucked up a lot. It's usually, most people usually when they talk about Zeon, it's usually for the aesthetic. Because, God, they had some good uniforms, and the Zaku looked pretty decent. But, with that, though, I think it's safe to call SD Battle Alliance a finished project for now until the second DLC drops.
Yep.
I do thank you for joining me on this. We're probably going to do regular streams. When Tristan picks up, we're going to go through it again with him.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a fun game. Like, I've said before, Gundam's a very close series to me. And no matter what I have to say about G-Gundam, I'm going to have to just say it again, because SRT. Mind you, we're also got to talk about Crossbone Vanguard again. Though I will say one thing, you're probably you're going to tune for when we get to SRT for one thing. Judao does good. Judao gets in a little bit of a depressed state. It tracks, it's like, oh, you're falling into despair, blah, blah, blah. But how do you face despair? What do you face it with? Face it with bravery.
Yes.
Is that a drill D? Oddly enough, the one we are used to actually doesn't say Gao Gaigar. It says Gao Gai Go. That is the Okay, I'm gonna end the recording.